Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about meditation. And there's going to be three different types of meditation that we can talk about. And I would also like to focus on breath work because I feel that breath work is a very important thing that we need to also look at in order to do successful meditation. Before I start with that, though, I would just like to say thank you to everybody that has recently subscribed to my channel. Again, the goal for this is to try and just get awareness out there. I feel that we always find a lot of people talking about things, for example, like shadow work, the ego, personality types, meditation, and so on. But they don't break it down, right, for us to easily understand how we successfully do this. And I'm just trying to bring that information out there. I'm trying to get it out there so we can end up helping ourselves at the end of the day, and then making a positive impact on the world. So yes, if you like the content here, please hit that subscribe button, and also share this with as many people as you think will benefit from it. The goal at the end of the day is we are trying to help people live better, more full lives, right? And yeah, if you think there's anybody out there that can benefit from this, please share it with them, so that we can get the good messages out there, the nice things in life, and ways we can work to generate a life that we actually want for ourselves, right? So when we talk about meditation, the very first thing I want to get out there is there's a lot of people that talk about meditation. There's a lot of people that would say, look, you need to do one type of meditation specifically, and that's the best way to do it. And in all reality, it's not. Okay, there's not just one way to do it. And also, the focus of meditation is different from person to person. There's a lot of people out there that utilize meditation in order for them to simply just gain the benefits from it. Okay, so you would lower your heart rate, you would calm your mind, you would have a clearer way to think about life, and so on. There's a lot of nice benefits behind meditation. But also, there's ways that we can meditate in order to realign ourselves, to realign our minds, our thought patterns, right? So you could actually meditate on a specific topic. And by doing that, you're giving yourself an opportunity to think about it in a different way, or to maybe find answers to problems that you've been having. And also, there's a lot of people that say you have to have very specific mudras, or even hand signals, hand signs, specific ways you need to hold your hands and stuff like that. And the reality is that if you're an older person sitting in that straight up position for 10, 15, 20 minutes, could actually really hurt your back. So for them, lying down while meditating is always an option. And so on and so on, right? So it's not just one thing. It's something that everyone can do in a way that they are comfortable. And what makes meditation great is the fact that when we enter that meditative state, okay, when we can calm our minds, we can silence our thoughts a little bit, and we can just do our breath work while we are meditating, okay? What it does is it creates conditions within the human body that is conducive to cellular regeneration, that is conducive to physical healing, right? So most of our healing happens while we are asleep. But when we can go into a meditative state, we can also experience that at the same time. And what I would also like to say about meditation then is that it is something you can do every single day. It's not difficult to find about 15 minutes. I think the general benchmark's about 15 minutes. And I always like to say, if you have time to meditate, please do so. If you don't have time to meditate, you need to do it twice as much, right? And it just generates an area for us, like I said, conditions that are conducive to physical regeneration, to emotional balancing, and to put ourselves in a state of mind where we can actually address issues that we might still be thinking on, and it also helps us to just quiet that mind. One of the main reasons for anxiety, for depression, for all those kinds of mental problems that people deal a lot with nowadays is actually overthinking, right? When your mind is racing so fast that you literally just can't process everything at the same time. And then we generate this anxiety, this fear, right? So it's a good way for us to get around those kinds of problems as well. Okay. Now, when it comes to meditation, the one of the most important things is breath work. And breath work, there's quite a few different ways you can breathe. There's certain techniques where you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold your breath for 7 counts, and you breathe out for about 8 counts, ensuring that you are completely emptying your lungs. There is bowel breathing, where you first fill up your stomach with air and then your chest. Give it a go. It actually works. You can get a lot more oxygen in your body. So you go stomach, chest, and now suddenly you have a lot more air inside of your body. So there's a lot of different techniques, but the one I would like to look at, and I think this is the most basic one, is deep abdominal breathing, right? Where when we are breathing in, we truly breathe in a very slow and controlled way, and we ensure that our lungs are completely full of oxygen, right? Like really just until it's really full, and then we can hold it for as long as we feel comfortable, and we can exhale very slowly. Okay, get all that air out of the lungs. Make sure that the lungs are empty. And by doing this, we are even increasing our lung capacity, right? So there's a lot of nice benefits to doing that, but that's the one I like the most. So whenever you start your meditation, you first start with 4 of those breaths, like a long, deep in, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable, and then push all of the air back out. Now, when you do this, initially, you might feel that you get a little bit lightheaded. That might be something that happens. Okay, and you could start feeling tingles in your fingers and your toes. And actually, all that is that's a good thing. It means that you have become so used to not breathing properly and not having enough oxygen in your lungs that now, when it happens, your body doesn't know what to do with it, right? But don't worry if that happens. It's normal. It's natural. And if you do this regularly, it'll go away, right? And then when we look at meditation, again, there's multiple ways to do meditation and all those kinds of things. But when we meditate, we need to have a goal in mind, right? So I might want to meditate purely to recreate a sense of peace within myself. I do this as a break away from my normal life, okay, to make sure that I'm calm and collected, and it's a way for me to relax. But again, meditation could be amazing as a tool for problem solving. So if you are having a lot of things happening in your head, a lot of thoughts racing through it, you might want to do meditation and then teach yourself how to isolate only one thing at a time and to examine it fully and completely and totally until you find an answer or a solution to it that makes sense and that you're happy with. And you can also just do meditation for the health benefits of it, right? Again, you see a lot of benefits. You get calm. It helps you with overthinking. And the most important one for me is it actually teaches me how to control my mind. All right. A lot of times, a lot of us, we have these. I think the word for it is invasive thoughts, right? We have these invasive thoughts that pop into our head every now and then. And it helps us to teach our own mind to silence itself, to calm itself, and we gain control over what we want to think. And we also teach ourselves how to focus again, right? So one of the big issues we see nowadays with all of the media, the social media, the TVs, the ads, everything, it's so busy all the time. It has to, I can't even watch a video if it's longer than 10 seconds because my attention span is just what it is, right? I've trained myself to a state where my attention span is worth nothing. And it actually helps us. It helps us a lot to start refocusing on things specifically. And the most beautiful one for me, the one I find the most, is if you meditate enough, you start living your life from what I like to call a meditative mental space. In other words, I no longer jump to conclusions. It helps me with triggers in my life so that rather than just acting on things, because I'm now used to being calm, I'm used to calming things down for myself. I can see all of the options in front of me and I can start making decisions, active decision making process rather than just responding to things. And I think that is the cool one. And then it's helped me, especially in my normal work, to enter flow states more easy. Okay, so flow state is when your mind just focuses on the one thing that you need to do. It cuts out any noise or interruptions that might exist, and it just goes into that flow. Right, we're just flowing with it, and suddenly it feels like I'm this super intelligent person because the answers just coming for all the problems that I'm dealing with, and it helps me to get into that flow state as well. So those are the goals for me with meditation, right? That's what I want to achieve with it. And it's important to firstly know what meditation is, right? It's me pushing myself into a state that is conducive to physical cellular regeneration, um, emotional balancing, and of course, silencing of the mind. And what most people realize after a while, when we do meditation, is you start to realize that the thoughts in your mind, that's not you. You are the one observing the thoughts in your mind. And it can be a very profound experience when we understand that properly for the very first time or when we experience it. And it will show you that you are much more than just the body that everybody sees, So it can also open you up to a much more heightened awareness. It can connect you with your higher self, and it could be a spiritual experience in and of itself. So a lot of positives come from meditation. And breath work is important. So when I'm busy meditating, right, you might find a lot that I'm quieting my mind, I'm sitting down, I'm breathing nicely, and the next moment some random thought pops in your head, right? Just a thought that pops in there. And what we then do is we acknowledge the fact that the thought is there, but we shove it away. We make sure that we just move it along, right? Because where we are now, we don't want to be sitting thinking things necessarily. We do want to be quiet in our mind, so our mind has time to do what it needs to do. So then if things rush in, see them, acknowledge them, but then push them to the side. And you can literally just say to yourself, nope, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not dealing with you. Go away, right? And with practice and with repetition, you will find that it doesn't become an issue anymore, right? After a while, when you get into that state, you just are, and that's the point of it, to just be, right? We don't want to struggle with thoughts. We don't want to struggle with things necessarily. We just want to be. And it's in those moments where we are now creating scenarios conducive for all of the positive effects to happen for us. And also, breathwork is very important. Sometimes during meditation, you might find that I've seen this thought now, I've acknowledged this thought, but for some reason I can't get rid of it. And that's when you completely stop and you start redoing your initial breath work. You start and you say reset back to the 4 breaths, and you take those breaths, and your focus point purely then goes to this breathing that you are doing, and it also helps you to focus, right? And that brings me to the first type of meditation that I think we can all do, and it's called silent meditation. And that's the one that's mostly out there for people. That's the one they try the most. Okay, it's when I go sit down, I find a spot where I'm not going to be interrupted. I have my 15 or 20 minutes that I want to meditate, and most people struggle with 15 minutes, believe it or not. It is hard to sit still and not worry about, I need to scratch this thing, and now this thing is in my way. Oh, good grief, I never did this thing that I was supposed to do for some other reason, right? It's super hard to actually quiet yourself for 15 minutes. So start with 5, right? And when you feel like, okay, I'm getting these 5, I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm still, right. Then move to 10 minutes and then move to 15 minutes. They say the minimum amount of time that you need to invest in meditation to actually gain the benefits of it properly. You can gain benefits from a 5 minute meditation, but the lowest amount of time should be about 15 minutes, right? Is silent meditation, where I'm doing my breath work and now I'm calm, I'm still, right? And all I want to do is to let everything flow away, right? And there's a few ways to do this. You start with your breath work, but then once the breath work is done, you actually focus on certain specific points. For example, I've just finished my breath work and now I'm trying to just be calm and silent. So I could see in my mind and I could feel in my mind how my neck muscles start to relax. And once they are completely relaxed, I can say, okay, now drop your shoulders. Okay, let the shoulders drop. Okay, I don't have to be tense all the time. I don't have to do this like a Tyrannosaurus, right? I don't have to walk around like this. Drop it. Drop the shoulders, right? Your neck is no longer holding them up. It's relaxed. Drop the shoulders. Feel how you relax throughout your body all the way down. And then once you are done with the full relaxation, right, just be. And that's the point. It's to just be and just relax. And then if thoughts want to work its way into your mind, see them, acknowledge them, and let them go. And if you can't, if it's not working, immediately hit that reset button. Don't open your eyes or stop meditating, but hit that reset button for yourself and just do that breath work again, just to quiet everything down, to reset and to move on. So silent meditation is very good for example, past life regressions you can do for yourself during silent meditation. Spiritual experiences can happen during silent meditation, but mostly silent meditation, the focus of it is to just be, all right, and to just let your mind go and just let everything go for a little while, right? Just calm yourself, stop that overthinking, silence that mind, and to just relax. The second type of meditation, and this is usually the easiest one to start with, is what we call a guided meditation, right? So a guided meditation is where I maybe go on YouTube and I click on a video meditation to calm myself down or whatever. And then you sit down, you relax, and usually it has this nice, very calm music that plays in the background, and you have somebody that's narrating something to you. Okay, so basically telling you what to visualize in your mind, and that will take you usually on a bit of a journey. And one of the best guided meditations out there is when you want to do a guided meditation, for example, to make contact with your spirit guides, with your spirit animals. That's usually a beautiful guided meditation that we can do. But also just guided meditations to do elemental cleanses and all those kinds of things, right? Now, I have seen on different platforms, right, all these guided meditations for abundance, for money, for all these kinds of random things, right? Okay, I'm sorry to be the guy that says it, but meditation without proper focus cannot give you money. Okay, it can't give you abundance. It will not release you from some prison. As you know, if you've seen any of my videos so far, everything takes work. Right? Everything takes work. The reason why we are not achieving in life what we want to achieve in life is because we are blocking ourselves. That's 99.9% of the time what's happening, right? We are blocking ourselves from that. So we can do a guided meditation in order for us to start living in abundance, but it's not just listening to somebody tell me, you are amazing, you are fantastic, you are powerful, you will live in abundance. That's not how it works, right? But sitting there, and again, this is why focus and intention for meditation is important. For me, sitting down and saying, okay, what is blocking me? What is my life? What is the life I want to live, right? What do I want to do? Okay, find that first. Sit down, calm down, ask yourself the question over and over and over. What do I want to achieve in life? What is the perfect life that I can envision for myself? And then once you find it, okay, then it changes. How do I get there? Okay, I have all of these amazing physical talents. I have all of these amazing spiritual gifts that I'm starting to unlock within myself. How do I take all of them? How do I apply them? How do I get there? Right? So meditation to achieve these things is amazing. That is what you need to do in life, right? Is to truly observe your dream. Okay. Understand what it takes to get there and then action it, right? Start walking the path of getting there. But that understanding part, that is where meditation comes in. Understanding all of the little facets that I need to achieve. And for that, guided meditation can also be good. 9 times out of 10, those meditations are a silent meditation, right? Where I really dive deep. I start looking at myself, my place in the world. How do I want to fit into it? And what is it going to take to get there, right? But guided meditations are really great to learn how to meditate because you're hearing things and they are telling you what to see, and it still calms you down. It still silences your mind. It still stops those invasive and intrusive thoughts, right? And we do get a lot of benefit from it. But that would, for me, be the kickoff point. Okay. And there's some spiritual practices where guided meditations are necessary, and that's their place. That's where we do them. The final type of meditation that I wanted to explain is what we call a mantra meditations, right? It's where you have a very specific mantra, Om Mani Pende Hum. You have these mantras, and each one of these mantras has some significance to it. So, for example, if you look at the Om mantra, right, that Om, right, that is the sound of the universe. And by sitting there, taking a deep breath, giving a long, slow Om, right? It's like breath work. You just use the mantra as the exhale rather than just exhaling, right? That long, small one, you can literally feel how vibrations are going through your body, right? And the Om one specifically puts you into the vibration of the universe. It realigns you with the same vibration as that of the universe. And mantra meditation is another word for it is transcendental meditation. Okay. And mantra meditation for me personally has had the most spiritual significance, right? Silent meditation is I look at problems, I find solutions, and I can go walk that walk, right? Guided meditations taught me how to sit still, right? Because it at least kept my mind and my ears busy. So I learned how to sit my bum still and how to actually get into it. But mantra meditation realigns you with whatever the mantra specifically speaks to, right? And it awakens something within you through that vibration. It puts you into a specific vibratory state, which then again becomes conducive to either experiencing that everything is one and one is everything, right? You get that feeling of oneness when you do successful mantra meditation with the Om mantra, right? But there's a lot of them. And all of these mantras we can eventually even then combine with hand symbols and things like that. And it helps you just to generate that focus, right? Because when it comes to the mantra meditation, we are doing transcendental meditation. In other words, we are trying to transcend something. When you do the Om mantra, you are trying to transcend your perception that you are an individual being, right? And rather start experiencing oneness, that you are connected with everything and everyone in existence. And all of these different mantra meditations then tries to help you transcend something, okay? So when it comes to meditation, and I think this is yes, that's everything I wanted to say about meditation, right? When it comes to meditation, it's very much a process of initially training yourself to do it successfully, but then starting to see the benefits over time, right? In the world that we live in, where it's a money back guarantee, instant gratification world and culture that we live in, if you're wondering why you are struggling with meditation, that is why, right? Because we all want to gain the benefits of doing these things. And the problem is that with most things, And if you listen to the previous video, if you haven't, go check it out. It's really cool. About shadow work, right? It's a never ending process. It is something that we simply integrate into our lives in order to find the benefit from it, right? And meditation is the same. The goal for meditation is to allow yourself to train yourself so that you can at all times exist and live in a meditative state, right? It's not just something I do. It is something that will push me into a way of being that will benefit me greatly. I always look at, when it comes to meditation specifically, I always look towards gurus and how slowly they always talk and how they simply cannot be shaken ever. And these are examples of people that have become so, had that entrenched meditation so deeply within them that even under normal circumstance, they exist in a meditative state. And what's good about that is you will not overthink anymore. Your anxiety will melt away. Your stress will go. And stress is the number one killer in the current modern world, right? But stress will melt away. And you will then, in every situation, instead of responding according to triggers, instead of responding because I'm just used to respond this way for certain things, you will always have all your options laid in front of you. And you will take the time to pick the best one rather than just defaulting to what you were always used to. So to sum everything up, guys, the goal for meditation, okay, is to integrate it so thoroughly into your life that you start being and existing in a meditative state always. Okay. This is very difficult. So for most of us, myself included, I do it for the benefits, the health benefits, the mental benefits, and the emotional benefits, because it creates a scenario that is conducive to physical healing, to emotional balancing, and to mental clarity. Okay. And just by incorporating this into your life, all right, you will see all of those benefits. But just remember, okay, that these things take time. And don't be hard on yourself, right? If you can't meditate for 10 minutes, you can only sit your bum still for maybe 2 minutes, then start with 2 minutes. If your back acts out because you're trying to meditate and you're trying to have the proper pose, you know what? Lie down. If you're scared you're going to fall asleep, don't close your eyes completely. Only close them 2/3 of the way, all right? Meditation is something we want to integrate into our lives. It becomes a lifestyle. So do what is good for you to do, and do it in a way that you can actually do without losing hope or suffering through it, right? And that's the thing. So guys, there we go. I hope I've explained clearly what meditation is, what the goal really is of meditation. But also that there's different kinds of meditation we can do, and each one of them is more conducive or less conducive to a certain goal. But that we need to set goals for our meditation. We need to set intent for it. And then we got to train our brains not to mess it up for us, because your brain is going to mess it up for you. It's going to happen. Eventually you're going to get a little bit upset with yourself because why can't I do this basic thing? But trust me, okay, the hardest thing you'll ever do in life almost is to just sit still and not think of things. It's much harder than you think it is. But believe me when I say it is possible, it is doable, and it's 100% worth the benefits if we can just push through. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. Again, I truly hope that if you integrate the things, especially this entire thing that I'm trying to do with all the different videos, if you integrate this, things will change for you, okay? And you will gain much more control over your own life, over your own actions. You can no longer be a victim of yourself anymore, but you can step into your authority as a human being that understands who they are and that embraces the power that comes with it. That's going to be it from me. Thank you very much. If there's any topics you would like me to talk about, okay? Or if you have any questions, or if anything pops up that you want more information on, leave it in the comments, please, and I will get to it. I will, if it's a short answer, I'll just answer you directly. And if it's a long answer, who knows? Maybe we'll just make another video of it, right? And we'll explain all of those things. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for being here. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and then I'll see you guys for the next one. All right, bye.